Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a squat day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. And I knew today, walking into today, I needed to get more actual squat assistance volume in, because I do need to get the legs and stuff growing, even though I'm in a very small deficit, about to be on the platform again. This isn't a serious meet. It's not a serious meet. I just want another practice run, break my state records, not a big deal. So I'm going to walk into it trying to continue to work on body composition. Squats, shoulders didn't feel good. They didn't hurt. I just struggled to get into position a little on the warming up. So I went a little higher, took the grip in a little, and I went ahead and put 465 on the bar. I wanted to try to get a couple reps with it, 3 if they felt good, but the 2 felt pretty heavy, so I called it. And I'm really sleepy today. I am so sleepy, I want to go back to bed. But that first rep, a little shaky. Second rep, much better. But I felt like a third rep would be way too grindy at this point. Be way too grindy. We got a good quality training max double in there. Hit pretty good depth there. Like I said, the first rep was a little wobbly, but people may not grasp. I don't do a lot of warming up, a lot of ramping up. Like I did one rep with 2 plates, 1 rep with 3 plates, and then kind of came in and knocked it out. So I decided what I want to work on for a bit for a supplemental squat, and I'm going to work these up slowly over time. Stuff like pause squats. I really want to work on pause squats as a primary assistance movement. And I'll build my legs further using the belt squat. And for me right now, I feel like this bar may be the best for this. So I went ahead and did these paused, beltless. I went to the bottom of my range of motion, right, with that wide stance and held it there. Wanted 2 or 3 seconds on every rep. Did it a 3x5. It wasn't that hard. It was challenging, but obviously I left reps in the tank. It was really about just getting that pause and then driving up and trying to maintain tightness. And it's a little hard to find an arm position here. I can't go out wide, because of my wide stance with this thing. So I try to just keep the elbows in and keep the chest up. Try to keep the chest up and just maintain that tightness. Pause at the bottom, then drive out of the bottom. And I want to get more power coming out of the hole. I need to learn to stay tight out of the hole, because if I miss, where are we seeing me miss? It really does seem to be low back and stuff, which is why I'm doing all the good mornings now. But I'm going to do those on deadlift day. I've spent a little bit of time doing them both days, but I've got to watch the overuse potential. So now I'm going to do them on deadlift day and keep hammering good mornings, right? Hammer the hell out of them, because they carry over to my squats and my deadlifts. But again, for the squat day, I think the pause squats will help, and I need to get better and better at those. Also, I can't come in and just do 5 sets for quads. Not even counting the peak set. We did 3 there, so I'm like, I need to get about 7. I need 10 sets. Really do. Even though they get worked a bit on deadlift day, deadlift day needs to be more posterior chain focused. I need to make sure everything's growing. Need to be in that optimal volume range. And this is about 11 sets for the squat muscles today. We're right around where we want to be. 10 or more, but we're not going up super high because it's not a weak link for me in any way. But I've got to get enough volume to hypertrophy maximally, and that puts us in that range, but without overuse. And that's kind of the benefit. I'm not beating myself up on these because I've got a deadlift every week, and I do volume deadlifts and stuff, so I'm not beating myself up with the axial loading. Stuff like the safety bar with pause work, again, lets me build all the quad muscles, right? We build the quad muscles. We work on that tightness at the bottom. And I think the safety bar, because again, if chest is going to collapse and, any of that's going to be a collapse for me, that's going to be an issue, that safety bar is going to help fix it. I feel like that's a bigger weak link for me than the primary movers potentially, but I need to keep it all growing. So I went up just 5 pounds today on this. I did 5x10 last time with 5 pounds less. And that little 5 pounds doesn't matter. I know people are like, you're not even counting the weight of the machine because I don't know really what it's doing, because I know the total weight of the arm. Well, look how far most of it is in. So I would rather just count the plates on a machine like this. Yes, even though they're substantial weight, I think it's like 55 pounds just for the part that moves. But, it's too ambiguous. So I'm just going to count the plates because they're moving through the full swing. And that's how I'll track it. So I went up 5 pounds but did 7 sets instead of 5. That's, progressive overload on 2 fronts. Right? But my quads are smaller. Like my legs are smaller since I've cut. I went back and looked at where I was, before. My legs are smaller than when I was squatting 600 a little high. So again, got to keep working body composition. Right? I've got to get more stacked and leaner. That's why people are like, you're going to have to lose even more fat. I've got plenty of fat to lose, guys. I'm not in that danger zone yet. So I've got to work body composition. And you know what? It's easier to do water cuts if you have more muscle. By the way, people don't realize that. Your muscle to fat ratios actually matter for water cutting. Because it's muscle tissue that we can pull water out of easier. And then replenish and super compensate, after making weight. So I need to be as lean and as stacked as possible. And, this year's going to be an okay competitive year. It's not going to be all out. I'm not going to break as many records as I would like. And these records are fairly low-hanging fruit. People are going to come through and snatch those up. They're going to snatch them up on me. So we've got to get better. And I got 5 years to be in this weight and age class. 5 years. So every year I have to get bigger and leaner. And we keep working on that right now. And some of the records are real good up at the next age class up. So I got to be on top of my game when I get there too. So we've got to work all these muscles. Got to build it up. Okay. There's going to be a lot of posterior chain and tricep focus for me, but doesn't mean we neglect the other stuff. Doesn't mean it's neglected. It still needs to all grow. And that's what we're doing here. So it ends up being, 11 sets of squat direct movers. If you want to call it squatting. Which really, what are we building? Besides back musculature and stuff, there's some of that and some of this. It's quads, glutes, hamstrings. Quads, glutes, adductors. Secondary carry over to the hamstrings, but squatting movements don't particularly build hamstrings effectively. They don't. So at the end of this, I did do some glute ham raises, and I know my bigger hamstring day is deadlift day, but I feel like the glute ham raises are just too hard to do after good mornings and deadlift volume. I don't have any strength left. This is a good place to add it in for that secondary effect. Thicken those hamstrings up. There's 3 quality sets. We will still stimulate some growth from that, and particularly because of the type of this movement. It's working it quite a bit different with different regions of the hamstring from the deadlifts and stuff I'm doing later in the week. So we're okay. Just like the deadlift works the quads differently than the squats. So there is some definite quad on the deadlift day. And we have to look at it all that way. There's going to be a little overlap. So in this case, though, this is, just stimulating a small amount of growth, particularly possible for lacking regions of the hamstring, which matters. It matters for the bottom of the squat because we can use it to bounce. Just like we talk about lats in the bottom of the bench, it's not because they're helping move it, because it gives us squish. It gives us a spring to push against. Right? With your triceps, press against your lats on the bench. Same thing with the hamstrings. Yes, they're an important stabilizer, but if we can get them thicker, we can squish against them like a spring coming out of the bottom. And it's not a big effect. You're not going to put 50 pounds on a lift with this, but what if we get just a couple pounds? Just a little bit. But the stabilization's a big part too. So again, three sets of 10 on the glute ham raises. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.